It's been my experience in counting that we usually use combinations more so than permutations. And permutations, you know, order matters. Combination, order does not matter. Here's an example. From 8 books, just choose 3 of them. Now that's different than this. From 8 books, put 3 of them on a shelf. If I put 3 of them on a shelf, I'd have like the leftmost, the middle, and then the rightmost. But that's not what we're doing. We're just going to, in this bag of 8 books, just pick 3 of them. We don't care what order they come in. So we've got a formula for this. I'm not going to derive it here. I'm just going to write what the formula is. So it can go like this. A combination of n objects, choose r of them. So for permutations, it was a permutation of n objects, arrange r of them. This is from n objects, choose r of them. And the formula is very similar to the one for permutations. One difference here. The same on the top, the same term on the top. What do you get? N, the total number of objects you're going to use, factorial. And then on the bottom, now for permutations, it was this. I'm leave a blank here. Just leave a blank here. And over here is going to go, for permutations, it would be n minus r factorial. But what we're going to put in here, right here, we're going to put the number that we're actually going to use. And that's going to be r factorial. And the way I think of it is this. If I just want to select or just choose some objects out of another group, then how do I do it? I take the total number of objects, put it on the top factorial. And on the bottom, I have 2 factorials. The first one is the number that I'm going to choose, and then the number that's left over. The number to choose, the number that's left over. So what we're going to get here is this. A combination of 8 choose 3 is going to be, all right, 8 factorial, right, the total number of objects that you have, factorial, divided by the number you're going to use by the number that are left over, or that you're not going to use. So I'm going to use 3, and then what? Well, if there's 8 and I use 3, there's, what, 5 left over? So 5 factorial. Now, that's probably good enough, but if you want to compute this out, you might write it like this. You see the 8 in the top. Break the 8 down until you get to the 5. So you might write it as 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, but then it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so that's 5 factorial. In the bottom, you've got 3 factorial times 5 factorial. The 5 factorials cancel, and now what have you got here? This becomes, all right, it becomes what? 8, 7, 6 over 3, 2, 1. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. That'll cancel with that 6. Right, so that cancels, and you're left with what? 56? Yeah. If you got a TI, you can type it in like this. Type in the 8, press the math key over there in the left column, about the 3rd or 4th key down. 8, press the math key, arrow over to PRB, the rightmost menu item, and then look down for number 3. This is item number 3, NCR. N, choose R. In objects, choose R. So type in the 8, press the math key, arrow over to PRB, either scroll down to number 3 and press enter, or just type in the numerical key 3, right? Then this comes up, and then type in a 3, and then press enter. And right before your eyes, what comes up is a 56. So what you're looking at is this. It's going to be 8 NCR 3. That comes in on the left side of your calculator screen, and on the right side comes in 56. So just another example. What if in our class there's 30 people? So out of 30 people, and what we want to do is choose, I don't know, let's say we choose 5 of us. All right, so out of 30 people, choose 5. So what are we going to get? Now, we don't care about order, right? We just want 5 people out of 30. So I'm going to write this as a combination of 30, choose 5. And in my calculator, I'm going to type it in like this. 30, I put in 30. Press the math key. Arrow over to PRB. Select NCR, right? N, choose R. and then type, what do we want, 5? Okay, so I type 5, press enter, and when I pressed enter, I got 142506. So in a class of 30, if you choose 5 people, how many ways can you choose those 5 people? About 142,000 ways, 142,500 ways you can do that. Now when you see this notation here, combination of n, choose, r, the calculator did it like this, right? They said n, choose, r. But here's another one that's very common. You just write kind of a big, tall parentheses, and you write n, r, no fraction bar. So these are common. You're going to see those a lot. So in our computations and the exercises, I often will be using this one right here. It's just real convenient to use. This one's a little inconvenient. This one's good on the calculator, but when you're calculating several of these at a time, this is convenient. So I could have written this last one like this. When I see that, I read 8 choose 3 in this case.